being planned. The slogans that were raised were not raised out of the right in the heat of the movement. This was a planned protest that was carried out. The slogans that were raised, they were also planned. The students definitely knew what kind of implications and what kind of messaging will they have if they raise such anti-national slogans, such slogans against the government of our country. And even after that, they have done this. So now it is the responsibility of the JNU administration to take any action that they deem necessary that should be taken. It is up to the JNU administration to give any sort of an official complaint to the Delhi police so that the Delhi police could also come in and take any action. Since this, as I mentioned, since this happened inside the campus of the JNU, the Delhi police cannot itself take suo motu cognizance and enter inside the campus until and unless the administration permits them to do so. The videos are out now. The people who were raising these slogans, their faces are out now. The people who were part of this protest, their names is with the administration. So it remains to be seen what kind of action will the JNU administration now take, and if at all any sort of an action will they take this time around against the students who have yet again raised such anti-national slogans.
Anshul, tell us also about whether or not there are any counter protests that have been planned by the students' wing of the Bharatiya Janata Party. I'll come back to you with that. Stay on with us. Sardar RP Singh joins us on the broadcast as well. Good morning, Mr. Singh. How do you look at these protests? A lot of BJP leaders have taken to social media, raised strong objections, but these are slogans against the Prime Minister, against the Home Minister, once again being raised at the JNU campus. Now, this partly is to do with the 2020 JNU violence anniversary, as has been claimed by the students group there. But your thoughts, sir?
Well, it's not only against the Prime Minister, Home Minister country. They are also chanting slogans for Hidma also. Who Hidma? Hidma who killed the Indian soldiers of the Indian Armed Forces. And this is the same DNA which used to chant slogan of Abdul Sharminda hai, Tere Qatil. They don't believe in judiciary. They don't believe in any constitutional system. They are urban Naxals. And also, now they are again chanting slogans against the Supreme Court decision. I mean, if you have anything to say or anything to do, please go to Supreme Court, challenge or contest the decision taken by the Supreme Court, but not chanting slogans of some asking for someone's death wish. I mean, you're saying that seeking death wish of the Prime Minister and the Home Minister of the country, and then again slogans are chanted in favor of Hitma also. So there is an ecosystem which is a left-oriented ecosystem and supported by the Congress party, which is a Muslim party now, and which supports all such causes. So there is the same group of the people who chanted Abdul Sharminda hai.
Okay, Sardar RP Singh, thank you. Appreciate you joining us with your thoughts this morning on CNN News 18. With that, we shift our focus to more news coming in from Tamil Nadu. Political speculations are heating up ahead of elections in the state. TVK sources have told CNN News 18 that the party is open to any alliance provided it is led by TVK and Vijay is projected as the chief ministerial face. Talks with the BJP are also ongoing. While earlier, remember, TVK Congress discussions were also reported, the party has so far maintained it won't align with the BJP or the DMK. This comes as Union Home Minister Amit Shah has delivered a blunt and uncompromising message to the BJP leadership as the party prepares for the high-stakes Tamil Nadu battle. Top party sources say that Amit Shah held 2 rounds of meetings with the BJP core group during his visit, and the message sources say was unequivocal that this is a do-or-die contest and the BJP must fight to win, not merely register a presence. According to sources, Amit Shah also made it clear that all parties and leaders not aligned with the DMK, Congress combined, must be actively approached to join the NDA, which is once again given us cue on how the Bharatiya Janata Party could be strategizing around its poll ambitions in the state. Reactions first up, then we'll go across to our reporters for more.
No, when there is alliance, repeated meetings between alliance partners will be there. What is that?
I do want to go across to Purnima Murli, who joins us with more details. Purnima, what do you make of this? is BJP TVK alliance still on the cards? Because earlier TVK had sent out strong signals opposing a possible alliance in the future with the Bharatiya Janata Party. There's a strong strategizing attempt which is currently being seen on part of the Bharatiya Janata Party, somehow being spearheaded by Home Minister Amit Shah himself. What are the options before different political stakeholders concerned as we speak?
Well, Home Minister Amit Shah was in Tamil Nadu on a 2-day visit, and there was a closed-door meeting that was held by Home Minister Amit Shah with the senior leaders of the BJP from Tamil Nadu. And one of the points that was discussed is this, that the BJP should aim to win big, not just in terms of vote share, but in terms of winnability. The BJP wants to do better and win more, and therefore they want to bring the anti-DMK forces together, which also includes the option of TVK, which is when we tried asking senior leaders from the TVK off the record. So far, TVK had maintained that there is no possibility of aligning with its ideological enemy, the BJP. But now the stance taken by the TVK is that anyone who is open to welcoming or accept Vijay as a CM candidate can join hands with the TVK. So that keeps doors open for both the BJP as well as the Congress. So interesting days ahead, because TVK is in discussions with the Congress as well, is what sources have told us. So we'll have to see how it pans out. But BJP is also keen to bring the anti-DMK forces together. And how big an alliance will the NDA form this time around ahead of the 2026 polls? We will know in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
And is the DMK keenly looking at wooing the TVK? Purnima, that's another interesting question or possibility that remains to be seen. Payal Mehta joins us for more. Stay on with us, Purnima. Payal, speaking of the BJP strategy, BJP, of course, as Purnima was also highlighting, looking at bringing in together all anti-DMK forces, and so far TVK seems to have not made a choice clearly. What appears to be the BJP strategy as we speak, given the Home Minister's presence in the state?
Frankly speaking, when the organization closed-door meeting took place with the Home Minister, the state leaders expressed very clearly that it is important to have DMK anti-parties on their side, which the Home Minister completely agreed with, and therefore they've been asked to forge many alliances and forge whoever wants to come their side as well. Having said that, the state leaders also conveyed to the Home Minister that TVK will be an important partner in that respect as well. But the discussion went on to say that he wants the Chief Minister and he wants certain things set straight from day one. And that is not something which the BJP really wants to do. At one front, Christine, the BJP is already committed the CM post to EPS as well. Now, can that be negotiated with? It can certainly be negotiated. At least that's what the BJP's top brass really feels. But they don't want to make a commitment right at the top. So that's going to be the only bone of contention as far as the alliance between the TVK and the BJP is really concerned. The BJP is not willing to give them any commitment right away as well. But it's a very interesting scenario given the fact that TVK seems to be everybody's choice. They are, of course, anti-DMK. So on one front, the Congress party wants to forge an alliance with them. And on the other front, the BJP also wants to forge an alliance with them. So it's just a matter of time before we come to know, and we are given to understand that Amit Shah has told the party leaders that within the next couple of weeks, whether it's up to Pongal or a week after that, they have to forge the alliances and come to a concrete conclusion as to who they're really tying up with. But the fact that Union Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah did not meet EPS on his tour also is sending a lot of political buzz across the state as to what is really going on. Is all well within the BJP? Is all well within the BJP ranks and the AIDMK alliance? That's the question for everybody else to answer, because there's been a buzz for a very long time in the Tamil Nadu political circles, especially in the NDA political circles, if Purnima would agree, that, they're probably the alliance with AIDMK won't go on for too long.
Well, going by this, at least until Pongal, everyone's going to have to wait it out. But thank you, Payal and Purnima, for joining us with the latest. We head into a very quick break. With that, lots more lined up when we return. Keep watching CNN News 18.
In a city that never sleeps, every decision matters. From roads to rains, from safety to services, every rupee counts. One alliance versus fractured opposition. Who will Mumbai choose? Ballot Maximum City. Complete coverage on CNN News 18. This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
From the national capital to metros and small towns, CNN News 18's investigation reveals unsafe drinking water triggering a nationwide health alarm. In Delhi, Sadatpur, filthy contaminated water is reaching homes through official supply lines. In Bengaluru, residents report sewage mixing with drinking water. In Indore, the crisis has turned cruel as families in Bhagirathpura are mortgaging jewelry just to access safe water. The health fallout is already visible. Over 150 hospitalized in a typhoid outbreak in Gujarat's Gandhinagar. In Odisha, over 40 students were taken ill after jaundice outbreak at a government school. Across India, the question is unavoidable. Why are citizens still fighting for clean drinking water in 2026, and who will be held accountable? CNN News 18's investigations expose a chilling reality. Danger flowing straight into our homes. Take a look.
Backdrop of the tragedy that has unfolded in Madhya Pradesh's Indore. What has also been seen as a national issue is the issue of the water. The basic right, as we all assume, but not so basic on the ground. We are in National Capital's Northeast Delhi region, where yet again the focus on the quality of water being given by the government to the citizens who vote for this is under scanner. I am in a region from the Northeast Delhi where the quality of water is being shown to you for you to judge by yourself. This is the water that comes at homes in the morning and during the evening times. The residents here collect this water for the day-to-day services and the utilization of the basic amenities. And as you can see, in fact, the camera would be also showing you the quality of water that is given to these homes with everything possibly mixed and also looking as much as contaminated it could be for anyone to drink. The big question is it really safe to drink? Firstly, the residents tell us that this pipe only gives out the water first, and when the contaminated, dirty, filthy water comes out, then they collect it at their homes, and this water itself is being used for every kind of service and day-to-day utilization of the purpose. Now, ये बताइए कि ऐसा पानी आता है या इससे ज्यादा ठीक आता है या इससे ज्यादा गंदा आता है?
अधिकतर ऐसे ही आता है, कभी इससे ज्यादा भी आ जाता है,
इससे ज्यादा
जितना ही है, कभी-कभी इससे ज्यादा भी आ जाता है गंदा।
तो फिर आप क्या करते हैं उस पानी का? इसको आप क्या पीते हैं?
हाँ, पीते भी हैं इस पानी को।
क्या क्या समस्याएं आती हैं अगर आप लोग इस पानी को यूज करते हैं? आपकी तबीयत में क्या आपको दिखता है? कभी बार साफ पानी पियो कुछ देर तो आपको डिफरेंस पता लगता है?
पेट में एकदम भारीपन हो जाता है, प्रॉब्लम होने लगती है, अजीब सी घबराहट सी होने लगती है, कभी कभी दिक्कत होने लगती है कुछ ना कुछ।
अच्छा, तो
Welcome back. We return with breaking news coming in from Gujarat. A speeding bolero overturned twice on Military Road in Gujarat's Botad, with the accident captured on CCTV, as you see right behind me on the screen as well. Around 26 to 28 family members were thrown onto the road, leaving a child and another person dead, and 26 currently injured who are undergoing treatment. The police are probing driver negligence and possible overloading as well. But the way you see this car topple, speeding bolero overturned twice, toppled twice in Botad, the accident captured on CCTV. 26 to 28 family members were thrown onto the road. I do want to go across to Anshul Singh, who joins us with more details. Anshul, how many passengers were in the car? What more details have the probe revealed so far? Any clarity that's come to the fore?
Well, yes, this was a small tempo traveler in which these people were traveling, and there were at least 28 people in this traveler, is what we are being told. And in the CCTV footage, it can be seen that how the vehicle was speeding at a very high speed, and as there was a small turn that came over there, the entire vehicle. There were kids, there were women, there were elderly people who were sitting inside this vehicle trying to get from one location to the other. And it is at that point that this entire vehicle toppled. 2 people have lost their lives, including a kid, is what we are being told, and 26 others are injured and are still admitted in a hospital. Generally, such movement of people is legally, but the manner in which this entire incident has happened yet again shows that how a blind eye is turned when it comes to the movement of people in such in such vehicles where people are not supposed to travel in such vehicles. These vehicles are generally used to supply goods or transfer goods from one location to other. But due to just because the driver wants to earn some extra money, he gets these people on board and then drives in such a manner that this massive incident has happened. Now an FIR has been registered against the driver and he has been taken into custody. The police actually wants to know that what was the reason why. Firstly, that he made so many people sit in his vehicle that the vehicle got overloaded and tumbled. And secondly, what was his intention and why was he driving at such a high pace?
The vehicle clearly was seen over speeding. Not just that, the number of people in the Bolero also absolutely shocking. Let's see how the agencies are able to piece this together and what really finally comes out of the investigation. Anshul, stay on with us. Speaking of tragic news coming in, 5 people had a narrow escape after their car skidded off the Delhi-Mumbai expressway near Nuh in Haryana, with the incident captured on camera. Once again, those are the visuals that you see on your screens. The vehicle veered off the road in a cloud of dust and locals rushed to help. This is another incident that's been caught on cameras, and as you see on your screens, this vehicle is believed to have skidded off. 5 people had a narrow escape, so it was a close save for these 5 people who were seated in this vehicle as it skidded off in Nuh at the Delhi-Mumbai expressway. I do want to go across to Anshul Singh, who continues to stay on with us. Anshul, possibly timely help in intervention by some locals there also aided the 5 passengers who were on board the car?
Well, definitely. This entire highway has seen many such accidents where actually the vehicle skids off the highway. Remember, the maximum speed in this highway is around 120 kilometers per hour. So the drivers, the people actually go on at a very, very high speed. And since there are no obstructions on this entire vehicle, similar cases have happened previously as well, where the driver slightly zoned out and then the vehicle skidded off from the highway. So this time around a similar incident has happened. It is being told that the driver dozed off briefly and then the vehicle, since it was going at such a high speed, it just tipped off the highway. There were 5 people who were present inside the vehicle. Thankfully, all of them have been taken out uninjured. There have been no injuries that have been reported to anyone. But yet again, an incident of a vehicle skidding off this very, very fast expressway has yet again come to light, and yet again this has happened near Nuh. Remember, there was another incident where a Rolls Royce had also met with an accident just a year ago, right at this very spot near Nuh itself. So this spot is one of the spots where such incidents have happened previously as well. The exact reason at this point in time is being told that the driver had zoned off for a bit, and hence the vehicle actually skid off the expressway and then went.
Possible measures such as including barricading or some sort of speed breakers possibly can be of help here. But that said, this is also a expressway that we're talking about. So let's see how there is a little bit of damage control that is seen in the near future. Thank you, Anshul, for joining us with all those details. We head into a very short break with that. News and updates continue on the other side.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
From the national capital to metros and small towns, CNN News 18's investigation reveals unsafe drinking water triggering a nationwide health alarm. In Delhi, Sadatpur, filthy contaminated water is reaching homes through official supply lines. In Bengaluru, residents report sewage mixing with drinking water. In Indore, the crisis has turned cruel as families in Bhagirathpura are mortgaging jewelry just to access safe water. The health fallout is already visible. Over 150 hospitalized in a typhoid outbreak in Gujarat's Gandhinagar. In Odisha, over 40 students were taken ill after a jaundice outbreak at a government school. Across India, the question is unavoidable. Why are citizens still fighting for clean drinking water in 2026, and who will be held accountable? CNN News 18's investigations expose a chilling reality. Danger flowing straight into our homes. Take a look.
Backdrop of the tragedy that has unfolded in Madhya Pradesh's Indore. What has also been seen as a national issue is the issue of the water. The basic right, as we all assume, but not so basic on the ground. We are in National Capital's Northeast Delhi region, where yet again the focus on the quality of water being given by the government to the citizens who vote for this is under scanner. I am in a region from the Northeast Delhi where the quality of water is being shown to you for you to judge by yourself.
Welcome back. The Madurai bench of the Madras High Court will deliver its verdict shortly in the high-profile writ appeal arising out of the Thiruparankundaram hilltop dispute, centering on a single judge's order permitting a petitioner to light a lamp on the ancient pillar located near the Dargah on the hill. A division bench comprising 2 judges reserved its order after concluding detailed arguments in December 2025. Now, the appeal has been filed by multiple parties, including the temple administration, the Tamil Nadu government, the Waqf board, the Dargah authorities, also the Madurai city police and others, all challenging the single judge's direction allowing Deepam lighting on the hilltop pillar. The core contention revolves around whether the pillar in question is a Deepathun, a traditional lamp pillar, and whether an individual devotee can claim the right to light a lamp at that very location. So that's what lies at the heart of this entire controversy. First up, reactions, and then we'll elaborate more on how this has played out over the last few months alone.
I don't know. When there is a case, there should be a verdict. That's all. Beyond that, what is there? Let us see what happens. What is the verdict? Because my contention is that when a 2-judge bench had already given an order that the lamp can be lit in that area, a single judge cannot change the 2-judge bench, a higher bench. That is not the procedure of our judiciary. That he has done with an intention, I don't know. That is why we had given impeachment. Impeachment motion was first given against a judge who also belongs to Tamil Nadu, Justice V. Ramasamy, by the BJP. Now they ask why they are giving an impeachment motion against judge. Is it an insult to judiciary? It's not.
All right, let's quickly take you through what's really happened in December 2025. The flag hoisting took place first up at the Hazrat Sikandar Dargah. The temple pillars, remember, about 50 meters away from the Dargah, and local residents protested there. In fact, the locals were the ones who lit the Deepam at the pillar near Dargah. It all boils down to the single judge order that had come out. Remember, 2-judge bench had reserved the order, and now that battle continues in the court. I do want to go across to Purnima Murli, who joins us live from Madurai Court. Purnima, over to you. What can we expect the next few minutes? Because this has become a huge political issue in the state too.
Well, the judgment will be out any time now. Remember, the Tamil Nadu government had challenged the single judge order which allowed the Deepam to be lit at the Deepathun. That was challenged by the Tamil Nadu government. All the stakeholders in this case did present their arguments. The Tamil Nadu government, of course, in its argument said that the Deepathun, the fundamental question is whether it's the real Deepathun. So that was the point of argument put forth by the Tamil Nadu government. The Waqf board and the Dargah also said that the Deepathun belongs to the Dargah land. That was their side of argument. While the petitioner had in fact said that this is the Deepatun. 100 years ago, the Deepatun was lit at the Deepatun, and that's the tradition that they want to be followed, and that was put forth by the petitioner, the primary petitioner in this case. So all of them presented their arguments. Today, the Madurai bench will deliver its verdict. We'll come to know in the next few minutes if the Deepam can be lit at the Deepatun. Interestingly, this comes at a time when the Dargah is all set to celebrate the Sandanakudu festival at midnight tonight.
Okay, stay on with us, Purnima. Let's see how this plays out. It does decide what the future holds for the petitioner, for several other devotees in this case. I do want to go across to Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist with us, along with Pula Rao, political analyst. Mr. Rao, your thoughts? The DMK, of course, has heavily contended this move, the single judge order, and that is how the story also began or saw a revival in a sense. How do you look at things playing out in the court today, and what are your expectations really?
You see, when the single judge gave the judgment, the immediate reaction was a big air of triumphalism. It is Ayodhya. They built up this issue. It is not such an issue. They could have been more conciliatory. I have said here, I have said since December 3rd, that this air of triumphalism, we won at the High Court, it is not correct. It's a religious place. Okay, you got it after a century. They start quoting the Privy Council. If you go by the Privy Council, there are judgments which are so much against India that we cannot even quote them. We cannot even raise them. Liberate Kashmir, give it me, etc., etc., etc. Therefore, let's look forward. Does this country not need harmony? Take your decision from the High Court. They made it such a, it is not as if a big political force is active there. I respect every individual's religious opinion, even if there's 1% there.
But that's what Justice Swaminathan had said, that lighting a lamp is a sacred act.
No, it is an act. But look at I want to say I have nothing against the judgment. I will never criticize the judicial judgment. The way it was delivered, the tone of it, the build-up to it, is it correct? In the future, if every judge does this, what will happen? Every judge tries to grandstand. What will happen? If he is going to retire in 2 months, 3 months, the judiciary, 1,200 judges, look on all of this. They are holding this country together. They have to be harmonious. They have to be wise. You can't grandstand. You can't give speaking orders like this and then not light fires. I am fully for people lighting the lamp. I know that's a religious practice. Do it. But everybody quotes the judge. Now, the High Court, today's judgment will come. Normally, I am no astrologer as far as judicial decisions are concerned. They will go along with the High Court unless there's some serious problem. It'll come to the Supreme Court. Is all this necessary? Not at all. And this, unfortunately, even the political party espousing the judge.
But approaching the courts is also anyone's right. And in this case, it's the petitioner's right as much. Mr. Iyer, how do you look at the controversy? It's been brewing, slowly heating up over the last month or so. DMK, strictly opposing it, also has gone on to say that the location change is against the practice followed for generations. Your thoughts?
The developments in the court today and in the run-up to today's order cannot be seen without the context in which all this has happened, especially the run-up to Tamil Nadu Assembly elections. And with the rise of Tamil Vetri Katchi, that is Kazhagam, of actor Vijay, DMK has been on an overdrive to ensure that the minorities do not shift support to Vijay. So essentially this was an attempt by DMK to hype this whole issue to show that they are the only one who can prevent a repeat of Babri episode here, saying that this will become Ayodhya if a lamp is lit. But incidentally, many people who are criticizing the single judge order have not actually read it. Because,
so you're saying, why is one presuming that, this may trigger religious tensions?
Yeah, I mean, this was, and then the DMK to go and straight away seek impeachment on the basis of an order. So that was a bit too much, and that was essentially to tell its core vote base of minorities, because Tamil Vetri Katchi, which has been under actor Vijay, that the phenomenal response that has been coming has definitely worried the DMK. So DMK's whole concern was, let us show that nobody can take a position which nobody else will take. Incidentally, the local Muslim groups had not opposed 5 people being allowed to light the lamp. And once an order was passed, there was an open defiance of the court order. See, they could have gone on appeal and challenged that order. They didn't do that. Instead, they wanted to move an impeachment. And Congress party, particularly leaders like Priyanka Gandhi and Samajwadi Party leader Akhilesh Yadav, they did not even go into the issue what it was. They thought it was all about protecting minority rights and signed the impeachment. Knowing very well with that kind of number, you cannot move a motion in parliament. But it was
So we've seen
send a
open
message.
defiance of the court order. Let's quickly go over to Purnima for a quick recheck on whether or not so far we've seen any sort of a on-ground tension given the single judge verdict that first came through. Purnima, tell us more. Have we seen those signs already, or is the DMK making a premature guess already to a situation that's not arisen?
Well, politics over the issue continues to escalate. Remember, Home Minister Amit Shah, while he was in Tamil Nadu, had also spoken about the Tirupurukundam issue. The BJP and the stance taken by the AIA DMK is this, that the DMK is anti-Hindu and they are only doing so to appease the minorities. That's been the statement that's coming in from both the BJP and the AIA DMK. And the DMK has in fact now responded to the Tirupurukundam issue. They say that they want both the communities to be happy, and therefore the argument put forth by them is whether this is the real Deepathon. For the last 100 years, the Deepam has been lit at the Uchipulya temple, and that's the same that's followed even now. They've not heard the sentiments of the residents of Tirupurukundram, and it's only certain activists who are trying to politicize the issue. That's been the stance taken by the DMK. But Tirupurukundam issue is certainly going to be one of the narratives in the run-up to the 2026 elections. Which way the residents of Tirupurukundram residents will vote, we'll have to wait for May 2026.
Mr. Pullarao, don't you think this has become a political issue more than what the devotees want, what people in the area want, and everyone's pulling their individual strings, given this is also election year, so it becomes crucial for each of the political stakeholders concerned?
First and foremost, I disagree this is going to be a big election issue. My friend Mr. Iyer knows very well that Tamil Nadu has had the first non-Congress government in Indian history, even during pre-independence. The first government formed was the Justice Party in Tamil Nadu. 120 years, 100 years ago. Sorry, this is not new. Is it going to become an election issue? It won't. The people who want to make this an issue are going up the wrong tree. If it has happened, that just because, the BJP is preaching sadly to the converted already. They don't have to go there. This is going on there, and they're alienating their own future voters. They should be more harmonious. I am not going into the legitimacy and other things. Fine, there's no harm to write it. And my friends keep saying Muslims agreed, Muslims agreed. I didn't see any Muslim being met. This should not be. This is a community gain. If they would have gone, interacted, got those people on the masjid upstairs or whatever the upper dargah is, and they didn't do that. I didn't see any visual of that. I would have loved it. There's nothing. I'm trying to make this a big issue. This is not going to work in Tamil Nadu. There are 80,000 temples, as I say, and to politicize it, who politicizes it? Of course, the state
I'm just
government.
wondering, Mr. Rao, when the single judge order was indeed passed, it was the DMK that had taken strict opposition to that view. So that cycle first began essentially with the DMK view. Mr. Iyer, do you agree, disagree to what Mr. Rao is saying?
No, you are right. It was the DMK which hyped it up. You see, already this matter about Tirupurukundram and Dargah was about performing animal sacrifices on the top of the hill. That Madras High Court had stayed, and it has been further stayed also. So there was no particular issue because the animal, what had happened previously was there were allegations of animal sacrifices atop the hill, which is considered sacred for all those devotees of Lord Muruga or Subramanya or Kartikeya, and this is one of the first of the 6 abodes of Lord Subramanya in Tamil Nadu. An extremely sacred place, and this reports of an animal sacrifice near the Dargah had set off a huge controversy. And after that, the matter went to the court, and court imposed a ban on any kind of animal sacrifice. That has been further reinforced. So the issue was not an issue. This was, and incidentally, that the Deepam or whatever the pillar, initially the state government took the view that it is a survey pillar. Then they changed the stand, saying, no, this is the pillar in which Jain monks used to, light lamps in the evening. And this is not a Hindu
So,
land.
case of shifting goalposts, you're saying?
Yeah, and basically, and then there were other people who said, look, Jains do not light lamps in the night because they are against any kinds of ahimsa. That is why they don't even have meals after dusk. So, I mean, they were making an issue because that was more to justify. That is very clear that the whole hype was given by DMK.
Okay. Apologies for the interruption, Mr. Iyer. Purnima continues to stay on with us and the hearing has begun. The court says practice of lighting Deepam at the elevated place is there for all Hindu devotees to see. There is no plausible reason for temple management not to comply with devotees' request to light the lamp. That's one of the first few observations as pronouncement of the verdict has begun. Also says apprehension of public peace disturbance is nothing but an imaginary ghost created conveniently, which creates mistrust between communities. The court also says that the temple must light the lamp at Deepatun. Big news coming in. Purnima, break down the update for us.
Well, the Madurai bench is in fact pronouncing the order. The judgment was expected at 10:30, and Ananya, our colleague, is now reporting that the temple authorities must light the lamp at the Deepatun. Also, the court says there are apprehensions of public peace disturbance and says this is nothing but an imaginary ghost created conveniently, which creates mistrust between communities. And the big news that Ananya is reporting for us is that the temple Devasthanam must light the lamp at the Deepatun. That's what Ananya is bringing us at this point in time. The order is currently being pronounced by the Madurai bench. We'll wait for more updates from the court. We will get the final order now. But Deepam should be lit at the Deepatun, and that's what the court is pronouncing at this point in time, and that's the big piece of breaking news.
Okay, that's a big one coming in. The temple must light the lamp at Deepatun is what the court has observed in the latest. Mr. Iyer, going by the tone and tenor and the manner in which this judgment is being pronounced or the order is being pronounced, what are your thoughts? Any guesses so far on where this could be headed?
This is a huge political setback for the DMK government and the party. They had unnecessarily blown up an issue which has now blown back on their face, number one. Number two, this is going to give further boost to the opposition, ADMK included. It is not just the BJP. Even other parties had questioned why did the DMK government and such a big issue. And the lamp was to be lit on a particular day, that was Kartigai. Kartigai is a very essential Tamil festival when lamps are lit at different places, including at homes. Now, it was for that particular day, the court had simply said, allow 5 people to go lit the lamp and come down. No crowds, nothing to tamper with that area. But DMK decided that this is an issue where they can show that they are more pro-minorities than the Tamil Vetri Kazhagam or Vijay. That is why we should, of course, Vijay...
The court is also laying out terms and conditions now. So following, the court making it amply clear that temple Devasthanam must light the lamp at Deepatun. It says ASI can impose conditions to preserve the monument. No public allowed to accompany temple Devasthanam for lighting of the lamp at Deepatun. District collector shall also supervise the event. So all possible steps are being taken, Mr. Iyer, to ensure that the law and order situation remains in check, that there are no sort of tensions that flare up, given this verdict as well. We're looking at some of the bits and pieces of TNC that's already being spoken of by the court.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, for sake of this order, DMK wanted to impeach the judge. And then the DMK in its impeachment motion also imputed motives to the judge, saying that since he belongs to a particular community, he is paying lawyers of a particular committee. I mean, this is the height of, I would say, contempt of the judge and the judiciary. And DMK will have to bear the burden of this judgment because this is unnecessarily made an issue. But there was nothing to be done. At no stage did the state government try to bring the both communities together. Pullara was just suggesting that there could have been peace talks. The Tamil Nadu government made no efforts because there is a feeling that DMK wanted to use this issue in the sense that, because their worry is, I'll be very clear, their worry is with the rise of TVK, the actor Vijay's party, they feared that the core vote base could shift.
So Mr.
TVK,
Pulla, you may go on to say that this issue has not been turned political by the DMK, but there is a political story to it, and to the point that the DMK had been making on how, and the argument that DMK had presented in the court in challenging the single bench judgment was that this may trigger religious tensions. Now the High Court says that apprehensions of public peace disturbance is nothing but an imaginary ghost created conveniently, which creates mistrust between communities, Mr. Rao.
Well, absolutely. Every state government must take law and order as its first priority, whether it's a BJP government in Uttar Pradesh or the DMK government here.
But that concern has been turned down by the High Court, sir.
They decide. High Court, as I said just 10 minutes ago, this decision is expected. The High Court bench is not going to against their own judge. They expect it. Now they'll go to Supreme Court. Whether the political parties win or lose, they'll say, we fought for you. That's being done everywhere. That's being done everywhere. Every temple, every mosque, they're doing it. Somebody will raise the banner as if they are protector of the faith. They're doing it. What have I said? I said, was it correct to have this triumphal view? We won. And then the way kind of noise they made in the first 2 days was not correct. Those lawyers who won the case, well, they wanted naturally, let me be a little harsh. They wanted publicity. They could have let it go. They could have done it softly. It's one of the 80,000 or something they didn't do. My contention is, although people say, oh, they've gone to impeach the judge. More and more in this country, even the judiciary will come under strain. Believe me, in the days to come, everybody will try to do it.
Well, the Madurai bench, Mr. Pulla Rao, has criticised the state government and the Madurai district administration for citing possible disturbance to peace as a reason for opposing Justice Swaminathan's order. Now, you're saying that the bench will not go against their own, but the fact remains that they have criticised what the DMK anticipated and not had happened as yet. Purnima continues to stay on with us. Madurai bench upholding the single judge order regarding lighting of the Deepam on the Deepatun. Quickly break down the key takeaways for us, the key takeaways shared by Ananya Bhatnagar, who's reporting from the High Court for us. Purnima.
Well, it's a setback for the Tamil Nadu government, as the Madurai bench has now given a go-ahead for the temple authorities to light the Deepam at the Deepatun. Goes on to criticize the state government and the Madurai district administration for citing that it will disturb the peace if the Deepam is lit at the Deepatun, and that it's only imaginary. These are just apprehensions and these are imaginary, and they've criticized the Tamil Nadu government and the Madurai district administration over this. A setback for the DMK, but now we'll have to wait and see how the Tamil Nadu government now, what steps the Tamil Nadu government will now take, and what are the legal routes that they will mull over. That we will get to know in the next 1 or 2 hours. But at the moment, this is the piece of breaking news that the Deepam can be lit at the Deepatun.
Mr. Iyer, the DMK is possibly going to weigh in on all its legal options, and that was cited a short while ago by Mr. Pulla Rao as well. Do you see no end to this? The DMK not really willing to let go, because like you and I were discussing, that this is election year in Tamil Nadu and everything is at stake. Everything means business.
No, I think they had hyped it too much. I think better counsel will prevail. I don't think they will go to the Supreme Court on this.
Okay.
Because, taking this issue further will only cause more damage to the DMK on this issue, because this is an unnecessary issue. It was all started, see, the original problem of animal sacrifices being performed there, which was a matter of deep agony for many Hindu devotees, that was put to stop by Madras High Court. So the issue had stopped. It was question of a lighting a lamp on a particular day. That was on Kartik Kartikeya. That's a particular day, Kartik Purnima. And if they had allowed it, nothing would have happened. But what happened, Christina, not only did they not implement the court order, they asked the executive officer of the temple to light the lamp at another location, which they said was the place it was always lit. Now, executive officer of the temple management board is not performing as a devotee. So this hurt the sentiments. There were, recently an incident in Madurai where somebody even committed suicide. Set himself on fire on this particular issue. So who is hyping it for what purposes? I expect better counsel to prevail and political wisdom to prevail, and I am sure Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Stalin will not like to push this issue further.
Mr. Mr. Pulura, I'll come back to you in just a bit. Mr. Iyer, stay on with us. Ananya Bhatnagar joins us with all the legal updates. Ananya, break this down for us. It's a big setback for the DMK. The High Court has criticized the state government, the Madurai district administration for citing possible disturbance to peace as a reason for opposing the earlier single judge order.
Well, absolutely. In fact, the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court has given out its verdict. It's a division bench that has given out its verdict that the lighting of the lamp at the Deepathon is something that must be done, and this is exactly what the line of the Madras High Court has been. What is very, very important is that no public would be allowed while the lighting of this particular lamp. It is to be done by the temple administration, and the temple administration must light the lamp, is what the tune and tone that is coming in from the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court. Not only that, it has also asked the ASI to see as to whether this monument is to be taken into their own custody, and that is exactly what the Madurai bench has gone on to say. But a very, very clear setback for the DMK government, because the court has called their petition, their submission with regards to the disturbance of peace and tranquility in the area as being nothing more than a sham.
Okay, nothing more than a sham. I do want to quickly go across to Vivek Narayan, who joins us with more. Vivek, how do you look at this? We've seen a lot of political back and forth the last so many days, essentially December 2025. This is one headline that's come in on a daily basis from Tamil Nadu. For now, seems to have taken a backseat with this setback coming in for the DMK, it seems. Any legal options you sense the DMK already weighing in on?
Well, they will be looking at further options. They will not take it lying down clearly, because it is not just a law and order situation, as the court said. It's also a political thing for the DMK. But as the court very clearly said, the Deepa Tuna or the Deepa Stamba stands in a location which belongs to the temple administration. Now, that was one big debate which was on for quite some time. Some were saying that this is just a survey stone. Some said this is a Jain structure, this is not Hindu, and it does not belong within the temple premises. So that issue has been ruled out. Yeah. The court, the two-member judge, have very clearly said that what G.R. Swaminathan said is right. The Deepa Tuna or the Deepa Stamba, the pillar is inside the temple premises, and the lamp should be lit there as per the tradition, is what the court says. So the argument that this could lead to a law and order situation does not hold water, is what the courts have said. The courts have said it's the onus is on the state government to ensure that there is no law and order situation. It is your duty to ensure there is no law and order situation. It is your duty to make sure that the lamp is lit as per the court order. Now, they have restricted the number of people who will go up to the Deepa Tuna. There will be only a number of people who can be allowed to go. And the court has very clearly said that the central agency, the central paramilitary forces will have to ensure, will have to help the state government in maintenance of law and order at that location.
So the court essentially signaling, Vivek, that there's no room, space for preempting any kind of a law and order situation. Mr. Pullara wants to come in. Yes, sir, go ahead.
I have one point. This was supposed to have been done in November, Kartik was. Now it's past. Will the court can't take the calendar back? It's now future, maybe for next year. I don't know how they want to resolve this issue. Whether they'll say, no, you won't light the lamp. The issue is passé, perhaps for the next year. So that we have to keep in mind. The court may condemn, the court may chastise, the court may not chastise. But the date is over. And the Supreme Court, don't forget, didn't give a stay that day. The Supreme Courts of any country always take time. They want to see how the issue plays out and whether the issue, time will resolve the issue. Remember that. Now, the Supreme Court's job is very easy. They may say yes or no, but they can't bring back November into the calendar. So let's hope better things work out, maybe next year.
Okay, maybe next year. Vivek, yes, you were making a point. Go ahead.
No, I was saying also the other issue where at the Sikandar Dargah, where there is animal sacrifice going on, which used to happen at least, it has been very clearly said by the court that that will not be disallowed. That will be disallowed. That will not be happening. As I said, the law and order is something the state government has to take care. You cannot go with the excuse that there is a law and order situation. So we cannot let people go, irrespective of what the courts have said. We cannot let this event happen, because the onus again is on the district collector. The court has said this district collector has to ensure that the law and order is taken care of. and the faithful, the people who have been selected for this event. Say a few people, 50 people will be allowed to go in. They will be escorted in and out. Now, many people, even within the ruling dispensation in Tamil Nadu, said there was no need to escalate it this much. The same thing is what G.R. Swaminathan, Honorable Judge, had already said. That just had to be implemented. A few dozen people had to be taken up, the lamp to be lit ritualistically. Let the case go on as a proceedings. But as of now, Justice J.R. Swaminathan's orders have been backed by the two-member judge.
All right, thank you so much. Now, Ananya, let me just come to you. If you could, for the benefit of our viewers, break this down for us.
Well, absolutely. It's a very significant verdict that has come out of, in fact, the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court, the division bench, upholding the order of Justice G.R. Swaminathan, who has remained under a lot of controversy for this particular order. In fact, an impeachment proceeding, a notice for impeachment has also been sent against him by the opposition MPs. But at the same point of time, the division bench of the Madurai of the Madras High Court has now upheld that particular order, saying that the temple administration must light this particular lamp at the Deepam. Not only that, it has also asked ASI to take steps in order to preserve this particular monument, and the district collector should actually be overseeing this particular event of lighting of the Deepam. Though a very important direction that comes in from the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court also is that no public would be allowed when this lamp is actually lit by the temple administration. So very clearly, it's only the temple administration that would be lighting this particular lamp, and the Madras High Court also very categorically dubbing and snubbing the argument that has been put forth by the DMK government and the state administration that there would be a law and order and a situation and the peace would be disrupted in that particular area, saying that it is a imaginary ghost that the DMK government and the state administration has actually created him.
Right. Now, Mr. Shekhar, let me just come to you as well. When we talk about the perceived threat that was cited as the reason to not follow on this order, what's your assessment of it?
No, as I said earlier, this issue was deliberately given a political twist because of because of threat coming from the fledgling party led by actor Vijay. He has been drawing huge crowds, and that has been worrying the DMK. Earlier, they thought actor Vijay's new party would divide the opposition votes. But considering the response that has been coming from people and the feedback they were getting, that it could actually harm the DMK votes. That is why, and particularly of the minorities. The minority vote, considering the lot of anti-incumbency issues against the DMK leadership felt probably the minority votes which have been always with the DMK, particularly in the southern districts, could shift towards the new party. So that is the reason this issue was taken up in a big way and orders were given to somehow prevent it. When the single judge, as Vivek also pointed out, and said just 5 people will go and light it on that particular day, on that Kartike day, that's all. It was, and no crowds were to go even in that single judge order. But what the DMK did was to escalate it into such a big issue, they moved an impeachment motion against a judge for an order. I mean, that is what is now, is now backfiring for the DMK. Now, definitely this will give boost not just to the BJP, but to ADMK and other parties who will say that, look, what have we been doing? And let me tell you one thing. DMK has also been trying to cultivate the religious angle. They also held a Murugan conference, a conference of Hindu devotees who worship Lord Subramanya or Kartikeya. See, they have been also not living, but at one point they decided that it is important to create a scare among minorities by saying that this could become another Babri or another Ayodhya, and we are the protectors. We are the ones who